How much do you still get Friday Night Lights stuff to you, Scott?
Streaming has been a real blessing as far as a show like Friday Night Lights. We were canceled twice. Like, we literally didn't have the ratings.
Time.
Yeah, I know. So was I.
Yes.
Thank you for being there with us. But
Right.
the fans sent light bulbs to General Electric, who was, the overseeing parent company of NBC at the time.
Right.
And they're the ones that decided to, cancel us. So fans sent light bulbs with a campaign called Keep the Lights On. And we came back, and they canceled us again. We came back because of DirecTV. But over time, streaming has allowed the next generation and the generation after that to pick up the show. Mm-hmm. And there's something just very timeless about this small town, them fighting to break the cycle of the failures of the older generation being, foisted upon the shoulders of the younger generation through a sport like football. And it's just everybody, it resonates with younger folks, with older folks. It really is the widest ranging audience for a show I've ever been on. And it's just really, really cool. And the thing that I really love about it is there's pretty much a fan of Friday Night Lights in any front office and any major sports team anywhere. Okay. And I've been able to parlay that into quite a few free tickets. Okay. So it's the one thing that this acting career has given me is tickets to sporting events.
Oh, no.
I've seen some fantastic. I was in Toronto filming Ginny and Georgia.
Nice.
And
season 3 coming out next Thursday.
Okay. June 5th. Everybody tune in, Netflix. Please.
Yes.
My character is from Boston, and I have to wear Red Sox gear, and I have to wear New England Revolution, which I wanted to give the MLS a shout out. So I was like, give me a Revolution shirt, please. At least get me out of this Red Sox gear.
Nice.
But anybody from Boston, anybody Massachusetts, that's where the show's set. So tune in if you're from Mass. Man, I was in Toronto. And I called Maple Leafs for puck drop Saturday night season opener against the Canadiens. And we were laughed off the phone. They were like, you're trying to get tickets to that. That's the toughest ticket in all of Canada.
Yes.
That's and then somebody called back and was like, wait. They said Jason Street wanted a ticket. So we're gonna get you there. So 6 got to go puck drop, sitting right behind Domi. I was sitting right behind Ty Domi. I'm like, this is insane, But this kind of thing has been so cool, man. I when I'm up there, I go see the Bills play a lot. I've seen 2 duels between Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen when those tickets are not easy to get, but it's just Friday Night Lights has done that. So that's the coolest thing, man. I met Peyton Manning. He was a fan of the show. Met Ben Roethlisberger, Aaron Rodgers, Brandon Marshall. All these NFL guys are fans of the show. So I just feel so fortunate, and it really has continued to pay dividends being a part of that show.
So Clear Eyes, Full Heart. You
can't lose, baby.
You can't lose.
Yeah.
You're getting tickets. But I think, again, one of the reasons why it does resonate, as you point out, small town America still exists. Yeah. Football in small town America, still huge. The relationships in that show, coach, wife, coach, daughter, quarterback and backup quarterback, running backs, also the relationships between, teenage boys, teenage girls, and growing up and learning about yourself and real life problems, real life stories, and the way it was handled, the way it was shot, the way it was written, the way it was acted. I would be crying half the time watching that show. Scott?
My take on why Friday Night Lights, I think, is still successful right now. And, it's different from a lot of shows nowadays. This country's so divided on so many different issues that shows stop trusting their audience to make the decision on their own for what they feel is right or wrong in any particular situation. And Friday Night Lights very much trusted their audience to take in the story and make their own decisions. We didn't forcefully, willfully, kind of force decisions that we think are the only right decision to make from the show down anybody's throat. The characters are very real on that show in the case that everybody messes up. Everybody makes mistakes. And then it's their correction over time or their growth over time or their inability to do so are on full display in a very natural, very normal way. And I wish that more shows nowadays actually trusted their audience a little bit more instead of telling them how to feel about something, allowing them to actually form those feelings on their own. I think that's something that Friday Night Lights did very, very well. And we also had, from the top down, a lot of trust in each other. The cast, a lot of us had never done anything before. It's a lot like Ginny and Georgia in that regard. We have a brilliant young cast on Ginny and Georgia. I'm now in the parent generation. It's so weird, going from the young football player, and now I'm the mayor of the town. And I don't work with the kids a lot. So when I got to watch season 3 last week, and a little bit early because, you know, we're doing all the press and everything. And I was just blown away. And I call them kids. They're in their 20s. But I mean, really, honestly, like, there are just stellar performances all across the board in Ginny and Georgia. And I feel like Friday Night Lights had the same kind of talent and took chances on young actors the way that, you know, Ginny and Georgia did too.
Like Jesse Plemons, Michael B. Jordan,
Taylor Kitsch,
right?
I mean, you go down the list.
Kelly, you know, Amy Teagarden,
Zach Gilford,
obviously,
my boy.
Kyle Chandler is the coach, and you know, my gosh.
Yeah, and he really was, like, him and Connie Britton,
who's phenomenal in everything she does.
They are terrific. And I came in green as could be. That was my first ever show, and I just learned so much, not just about being on camera, but about life, how to carry yourself in this industry, what it's about.
What do you mean? Like, you got a good story from
I think a lot of people just know. Well, the funny thing about Kyle is, you know, he was living the life that I kind of have to live now when I'm on Ginny and Georgia. He was living away from his wife and his 2 daughters because he was in Austin, Texas. They were in Los Angeles.
Right.
And, you know, Kyle would never really go out. And he'd invite us over to his place every now and then. And we'd play like Call of Duty. He had like a projector. We pull the screen down. It's just like staying out of trouble, really focusing, really being professional. That is Kyle to a T. You know, just reading the script again and again, trying to figure out this is what really is meaningful in this scene and where you really lay into that. And I learned a lot just about being a man, about being a good person in the industry. He's really one of the ones that taught me, like, I think a lot of people get into this business and think, oh, it's all about fame. It's all about the next big thing. It's all about, getting to this next level of fame. And that's not what this industry, I mean, in sports is a lot of the same thing. It's a relationship business, you know, treat people well and you shall be treated well. The same thing happens in sports too. I mean, when you see players go from playing for a team, coming back to that same organization as a coach later, continuing on, you know, those are relationships that were built and friendships that were forged and trust that was earned over time. And that's from how people treat each other, you know? So he taught me a lot of that. So did Connie. And just watching the 2 of them on camera, actually, I stole everything I could because I had no other way to learn.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.